everyone, and welcome to the 25th episode of Nina in Knitting. I'm Nina, and I live in Jyväskylä in central Finland. I'm married, and we have two kids and a dog. Today is Thursday, November 2nd. I'm here in the forest. As you can probably see, it seems as if we had skipped the rest of the fall and moved right into winter. Well, that is true today. It's pretty cold. It's about 15 or 10 degrees below 0 centigrade, that is. I'll put it on the screen what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's pretty cold. Luckily, I recorded some of the material I'm gonna put in this episode last week indoors in the apartment, so I won't have to freeze in here that long. The intro that you saw was taken just a few minutes ago, around 10 a.m. this morning, overlooking Lake Jyväsjärvi. So you see that it's a little frozen. That'll change in a couple of days according to the weather forecast. So next Monday it'll be all, muck and mud and all that not so nice things. But we'll enjoy the weather, the nice clear weather while we have it right here now. Like I said, it's cold, but it's really pretty. And I'm gonna take a little bit of a video around myself after I've recorded this, so you'll see how pretty it is here in the forest. We even have a little snow, and all the tree branches are covered in frost. I don't know if you can see this, maybe not. Anyway, really pretty. I have a couple of hours before the next lesson, so I took my stuff here in the forest to record an episode. I have a lot of finished objects today. Don't have many in here really, but I do have some video and then some photos. I have no whips that I have been working on, so I finished my last FO just last night, late last night. So I don't have any whips. I do have them, the sweater that I really, really wish I had already finished, the yin yang dance sweater that I'm knitting, but I haven't had a chance to knit that at all. And then I have at least one scarf and maybe something else too. But I'll show you a couple of things I have finished, and then I have some acquisitions. A couple of which are prizes for my knit along, and I'm gonna talk about that towards the end of the episode. I did make some show notes for myself, or some notes for this episode, but I seem to have forgotten my little black book, my notebook at home, so I'm just gonna have to try and remember what I was supposed to say. And I also have a small video on Novita yarns, something that I've promised to do quite a few times, but now last week I finally did it, so I'll add that in this episode also. But let's start with the finished objects, and two of them I have on a small video clip. Okay, a couple of finished objects that I will have given away by the time I get all the episode recorded. This is something you saw last time, and I was supposed to give them away on the next weekend, but I didn't give a chance to. So here they are, all finished, both of them. So this pattern is Petty Harbor by Raina Curtis. And like I told you last time, it's a very sort of simple 4-row repeat with 4 stitches, 4 stitches by 4 rows repeat that you repeat over and over again. Just a normal heel flap and gusset, and your normal toe. And these I knit with Aussterman step yarn, which is 75% virgin wool and 25% polyamide. Yeah, and the color, I'm not sure if this is for this pair or the other one I have next to me, but I'll put the number of the color on the screen if you want to check that out. I like the color. I mean, it's nice and green. Just your regular one colored solid green socks. And then another pair I made for my niece, and I will probably send these to her today, put them in the mail. So this pair, so I made some modifications for the stitch count, but this is the pattern I was talking about when I was talking about using charts. So this pattern, I'm just gonna read, is Mira and Hochen, or Mira and Jojen, Hochen, Mera and Hochen, I don't know, by Jill Bickers. And this also is quite a simple, like with 9 stitches. These are both free of charge, free travel, free downloads on Ravelry, and it was like maybe 9 stitches and 10 rows or something. Yeah, so I modified the stitch count for a girl who's 11, I think now. But yeah, they're a mirrored pair, so there's just some ribbing on the inner side of the sock, and then there are these lace parts on the outer side of the sock. And this is also this Austerman step, and this is just this nice bright yellow orange and color. I knit Eye of the Partridge heel here, just your regular heel flap and gusset kind of thing. But yeah, these both will go to the recipients. This one will be in the mail this week, and this green pair I will be able to give away next weekend. So they're both done. The third finished object today is also something I don't have here with me at the moment because I already gave it away. Well, I'll just explain this a little more. Last year on December, there was this sort of challenge or chain letter or something going on, saying that, post this in your status and play forward. And it said that the 5 first people who comment "I'm in" will get something nice from me. And the green socks that I showed in the video just a while ago, that's one of those sort of nice things. And then I have a pair of fingerless mitts that I made for another friend who commented that she was in. So I'll put a picture of them here. The pattern is called Tiara Fingerless Mittens by Rachel C. I think this one is the one that was by Rachel C. I will correct myself on the screen because I'm not sure if it's this or the next finished object that is by her. Oh my god. So yeah, the fingerless mitts. It's a free Ravelry download, as were the Petty Harbor socks and the Mira and Jochen socks also. So both the socks are my first and second finished objects were free downloads, and so is this third one, Teara fingerless mitts. And it's a really, really nice pattern. The yarn I used is a leftover from my breathing space that I knit this spring. It's from Stranded Dye Works, their or her Paradise MCN base, which is merino cashmere nylon, 80-10-10, 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Really, really soft yarn, and the colorway is called Poppy. And the mitts are really nice, pretty simple. I knit them 2 at a time magic loop on my Knit Picks Symphony Circs 3.0 millimeter. So that's US size 2.5, I think. And the part where the sort of the ribbing goes a bit like a cable to the side on both wrists to the a different direction. It makes the mitts fit really snug on the hand, so and around the wrist. I knit size small/medium, and I could get them in my hands okay, but they were really, really snug fit. I liked it, and I told my friend to whom I gave them that I hope that her wrists aren't too much wider, thicker, whatever, than mine. But she could fit them in her hands, so I'm hoping that it'll be okay. But I really, really liked the pattern. It was really easy to follow, pretty quick to knit, and yeah, they're really pretty. So I really do recommend it if you're thinking of knitting a pair of fingerless mitts. And then my third finished object. It's a crochet project. Um, it's maybe not what you're expecting. The Kalevala Cal crochet along. I haven't had a chance to do that, but this is just too pretty. Look at it! It's a crocheted hat. This is for my nephew. I talked about this last time. I mentioned that I want to make a hat for my nephew who turned 1. So this is a shark hat. And this is possibly the one that was designed by Rachel C. But, I'll write it on the screen. I crocheted it from Novita 7 välistä yarn because I have such a big amount of it. I think the yarn, either the yarn is lighter weight than the one that the designer has used, or I'm just a really, really tight crocheter, because I did use the adult measurements or the adult stitch count to do this. But it's really fun, you have the gum of the shark and then the teeth. Really fun, and it didn't really take that long. I have a bit of stuffing here in the fin. Really fun. We're celebrating my nephew's birthday this Saturday, so that's when he'll get this. Kind of cool, kind of fun. And of course, he'll need a different sort of hat underneath. It's sort of a hood, but yeah, it's pretty. And I'm hoping that it'll fit his head. I'm not sure, but I hope. Really, really fun. Then the one that I finished yesterday, and I blocked this um, last night, overnight. It's also a hat. It's from my brother-in-law, and I'm just gonna put it in my own hand so you see. So it's way too big for me, of course. Really loose. But this hat is called Jacques Cousteau hat, and I don't remember the designer. But this is knit out of Malabriga Rios in colorway glazed carrot, and it's really, really nice. I really love the color. Oh, it looks so dark in here. I just really hope it's lighter to you on screen. Yeah, so it's really, really nice. My brother-in-law likes color. His winter coat is sort of a green, really, it's not neon green, but it's bright green. So I I think that this will go really nicely with his coat. I just hope that his head is kind of a lot bigger than mine because this is very loose. It was loose before I blocked it or before I soaked it. But I wanted to get this crown pretty because it is really nice. But if I hadn't blocked it, it would have had this sort of pointy part in here, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So this is a man's size. There are two sizes in the pattern. This is by a Finnish designer, Salla something, I think. Um, and it's really nice. I'm thinking, because this sort of shape is really good when you think about having it under the bike helmet, because I ride the bike to work. I might even knit one for myself without the folded brim, of course, and in the women's size, but it's really nice. I really like it. And if the what you can see right now, if the picture is too dark for you, I will take some photos in better light and show you the hat, but it's really nice and very warm. Oh, I love this yarn. It's very, very soft and very warm. The hat is very warm. Yeah. My brother-in-law had his birthday months ago, and I gave him sort of a gift certificate saying that he could choose from 3 different knit objects. There was a pair of socks, then that hat, and then I had a scarf on the list. And he was supposed to, tell me which one he wanted, and then I would have knit it for him. But he's forgotten about it, I think. And now that I have knit, the socks for my niece, my sister had her birthday, so I bought her something, a little something, and my other niece also had her, it's not, well, she had some cause for celebrations, so I just bought her a little bit of something. So since I am probably sending them to them pretty soon, um, I will. I wanted to have the hat in there too, so that's why I knit it now. Was I being unclear enough? I've been teaching French for 2 hours this morning, and I'm going back to work and teach some more French. So excuse my French if I'm not coherent enough. Yeah. So that's the 5 finished objects that I have now. Next, I hope I will be able to knit some of my sweater, the yin yang dance. We'll see. I haven't even started my mom's scarf or a shawl. Maybe I will now. I know that I have printed out the pattern and I just couldn't find it when I was looking for it. So yeah, I can print another one, but it's a waste of paper and I know I have it at home somewhere. So I'll just try to find it before I start the project. And then there are the hats for the nieces for Christmas. And I'll have to ask my sister what are their favorite colors and what sort of hats they might use, because they're picky little women. Yeah, but for the acquisitions, so stash enhancement, I have some yarn. I have some yarn related items also. But if we start with um, the prizes for the cow, and I'm going to talk about the cow in just a minute, but the prizes. So one of the prizes is this wonderful green Cascade Heritage 220 yarn. It's a DK weight yarn, 200 meters in 100 grams. It's 100% Peruvian highland wool, and the color is just a number 2429. It's really, really nice forest green, I think. Very, very pretty. This is one prize. And then I have another prize for the knit-along, and it's this Malabrigo sock yarn. This is fingering weight, about 400 meters in 100 grams, 100% superwash merino wool, and the colorway is called Cereza. So it's not cerveza, it's cereza, and I don't know, is it cherry? I'm not sure. So yeah, very, very beautiful color. I could have kept it myself, but yeah, I know I do want to have some prizes for you. So this is another prize for the knit-along. And then some new acquisitions that I got. Of course, the Malabrigo Brioche, and I almost used it up for the hat. So it's almost all in there. And then I bought this Järbu garn Mellanraggi, which is a DK weight yarn, and there are 260 meters in 100 grams. It's 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide, and the colorway is a number 28221. It's this sort of a purple color. I bought this because I have entered for a Finnish sock knitting competition called Sukka Finlandia, Sock Finlandia. It starts on December 6th, Finnish Independence Day, and it's a bit like Tuotesock, but the Finnish version of it. The patterns are all in Finnish, and it's not hosted on Ravelry. So they have a different platform where we have the chat and all that. And their warm-up pattern called for a DK weight yarn. And that's why I bought this, but I haven't, as you can see, I haven't uh, started it yet. I will, but I haven't yet. Those are my yarns. Then I bought some stuff that is knitting related, though, even though it's not yarn. So I bought my first zings, 3mm DPNs, and that's the size I use for fingering white yarn when I knit socks. So that's US size 2.5. By the way, the hat, the Jacques Cousteau hat, the orange one, I knit that on 4.0mm DPNs. That's US size 6, I think. But these are my first things, and I haven't tried them yet. But I should knit my daughter a pair of socks, so maybe I'll try that then. And then I bought a sweater stone. So this is for knitwear maintenance. I've heard people talk about it on some podcasts, and it's kind of a stone. It's in the plastic, so you really can't see it. Ooh, what a glare. Anyway, the stone itself, it's very, very light. Whoops. It's very light. And the stone is, I think, porous is the right word. Scratchy. So the idea is that you'll sort of scrape the pilling off the knitwear. I'll try and get some pictures for you when I try it on my breathing space sweater, because it has pilled quite a bit. So I should try this on that sweater. Yes. Then there is just the cowl stuff that is knitting related. So I have this knit along going on. It's called Hats All Folks. And all hats are allowed. It can be baby hats, it can be child hats, it can be adult size hats, can be crocheted or knit. Just, you know, as long as you hadn't started it way back. And this knit along ends at the end of November, so at the end of this month, and we have those 2 prizes for it. There are a few finished objects already in the Cal thread in my Ravelry group, which I forgot to mention. So I have a Ravelry group for the podcast. It's called Nina and Knitting Podcast, and I have a thread for the knit along. I have an Ask Me Anything thread there, and I have the episode threads with show notes in that group. And I will put a link to the episode thread on the description box here on YouTube. Yeah, so head on over there, join in on the Cal, and all the chatter and the finished objects are in the same thread. So don't have separate threads for chatter and finished objects. Yeah, so you still have quite a lot of time to finish some hats. So go on and post pictures and talk about your projects in the thread. And of course, if you have any comments on this episode, you can leave them here on YouTube or in the comments or in the episode thread in the Ravelry group. And then I have this presentation or this small video on Novita yarns, which I'm going to add in here.
Then for some time ago, I promised to talk to you about Novita yarns. So Novita is a really big yarn company here in Finland, and I did some research. So I googled Novita and just read on their website that Novita company was founded in 1928, so almost 90 years ago. It's a Finnish company, a Finnish family company, is it? Um, so the CEO today is fourth in generation, or the fourth generation member of the same family as the person who founded the company. It's the biggest yarn manufacturer in the Nordic countries, which is Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. And it really shows in Finland. So we have a lot of Novita yarns here in Finland. You can find it in more or less any grocery store here in Finland, even the smallest one. And they have a really wide range of different yarns, and industrially made, of course, and industrially dyed. I have here with me on the couch the yarns, or the different Novita yarns I happen to have here with me. I mainly buy Novita 7 veljestä, which is this yarn, and according to Ravelry, it's an Aran weight yarn. I've shown it to you many times before. So I make reverses out of this yarn. This is 150 grams ball, 300 meters, so it's 200 meters in 100 grams. Is it an Aran weight? I don't know. I love this color, by the way, this sort of raspberry color. I'm going to knit a pair of reverses out of this. Yeah, so that's the yarn I have the most of, and the one that I use, but it is pretty thick. Then there is, oh yeah, and then there is another skein of 7 veljestä. I promised that there might be a skein or two that I might be able to part with. This is one of those skeins. So 7 veljestä raita, this is a little bit older. The ball band is different from the one they use at the moment. I haven't used it at all. It's a sort of it's not a rainbow color though, because they're like brown and other colors outside of the rainbow, or colors that aren't in a rainbow. But anyway, it's a stripy, self-striping yarn, and 7 veljestä, so 200 meters in 100 grams, and this is a 150 grams ball. And I bought it, and I guess I had an idea of what I may want to knit out of it, but I like to knit pattern things. So with pearls and knits and together and all that. Lace weight and cables, not lace weight, I mean lace, knit lace and cables and all that sort of things. And self-striping yarn is not ideal for that. So this is up for grabs. So if you're interested, leave a comment in the episode thread saying that you would like to win this, and in the next episode I will draw a name from all of those who have said they'd like to have this, and I can ship it to you. So that's 7 veljestä. But then I have different weights and different fiber contents. So that's 75% wool, 25% polyamide. But another very common, like one of the top seller yarns from Novita is Novita Nalle. Nalle means teddy bear. And I have just 2 skeins of Nalle here. I used to think that Nalle is a little too, not thin, but lightweight yarn for me. Well, now I use fingering weight quite a bit. So Novita Nalle is the same fiber content, 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and there are 260 meters in 100 grams. And according to Ravelry, it's DK. But yeah, I have 2 Nalle skeins. This pink one is pretty old. The ball band is older. I'm not sure if they even use this ball band anymore, because they use or sort of try to figure out a newer look to get a newer look for the yarn. So they change the ball bands every now and then. But this is newer than this. And oops, it's upside down. But yeah, maybe I'll make something out of it, I think. There are 150 grams in this skein, or there were 150 grams in this skein. This is only a 100-gram ball. But yeah, that's what I have also. Then what I use at the moment, or have used recently, is Novita Venla. I've shown this skein to you before when I bought it. This is fingering weight yarn, but it's the same fiber content, 75% wool, 25% polyamide. This is Venla Nature, so it's sort of a patterning, self-patterning yarn. It's fine. I was going to use it for some pattern socks, some stranded socks, but it really didn't work with my solid color yarn at all, so I ripped it back. I'll use it for something else. Yes, so what else do I have? Okay, this one is an old ball. This is Novita Isoveli. I do think they still sell Isoveli, so that's Big Brother in Finnish. Sorry, I should mute my cell phone. Yeah, so I had 3 balls of it. I have used up 1, but this is the same fiber content, 75% wool, 25% polyamide, and there are 130 meters in 100 grams. So what is that? Okay, I'll put it on the screen if I can find it. I'm pretty sure it is on Ravelry, but I forgot to check. What I have been knitting out of this, and it's a UFO, so an unfinished object. I started this at least 2 years ago, I think. It should be a scarf, and this is a herringbone stitch. It's something I found on YouTube. I found a tutorial on YouTube. Focus, yeah. And I thought it looked pretty fun, so I wanted to try it. And figured, okay, well, I'll knit a scarf using that. It's very stretchy. It's pretty fun. I've made some mistakes, like in here, if you can see it. You should have this sort of going like an arrow tip of an arrow, but then I forgot what I was supposed to do on the wrong side. So there's a boo-boo, but it doesn't show, so that's fine. But the reason why this has been unfinished for such a long time is that you have to use these humongous needles. I think this is like 8mm needle. Doesn't say that this is Novita needles, I think. Anyway, they hurt my hands quite a bit. So one day I'll pick it up and knit a few rows and then knit something else to give my hands a little bit of rest. But this is just one skein of isoveli, and I'm gonna use all three, so I'm gonna have a decent length of scarf one day. But that's one Novita yarn that still exists, and this was on sale, as you can see, €3 per skein. I'll put it on screen what that is in US dollars. Then I found a skein and a small leftover of Novita Mambo. This is 70% wool, 30% acrylic, really thick, 100 meters in 100 grams. And I have made something out of them, but I don't remember what. If you're interested, I mean, I like the color. This is sort of a camel color, so it's fun, but I'm not gonna use it in any project. Well, nothing that I'm planning. So if you're interested, give me a hint. This is also for grams if you like. Then something I bought because the color is nice. Puro batik. This is 100% acrylic, I think. Yeah. 200 meters in 100 grams. And I just love the color, so that's why I bought it quite a long time ago. I don't even remember when. But yeah, it's pretty, especially this sort of salmon or whatever color. I like it. I don't know what I'm gonna knit out of it, but yeah, it's pretty. That's one. So batik, and I think batik. I think they even might sell it even now. I'm not sure. Then there is Puuvila bamboo. So cotton bamboo. I think this is the same because it has the same percentage, although the ball band is different. And as you can see, this was on discount too, so that's why I bought it. I have different colors of that. I have been planning to knit dishcloths out of this because cotton bamboo, it goes pretty well for that project, but we're still waiting. One day they will become dishcloths, maybe, or maybe something else. And then what I have used for dishcloths is this Novita Miami. So that was like 50, no, it's 52% cotton and 48% bamboo viscose. And then there is this Novita Miami, which is 50% cotton and 50% acrylic. And I know I have used this for dishcloths last spring. Yeah, haven't used them up though. They're a nice color. And this is these are yarns that I have bought for a specific project in mind, but it hasn't seen the light of the day yet. So this is cotton soft. This is 100% cotton, and there are 120 meters in 50 grams, so 260 meters in 100 grams. So that's just cotton. I have something I want to make out of these. Then there is this Novita Kaste, and I did buy this for something, but it wasn't good. I tried it, but it didn't work. So it's just been waiting to find another project for it. It's 85% cotton and 15% viscose, and it has these sort of shining. Not sure if I can get it to show on camera. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there are shinier parts in the yarn. Anyway, I might use it for something one day. Is that all, my Novita yarns? No, this is a recent one, and I think I will, if I remember, I'll show this in the acquisitions part. But then there is this yarn, which I think is pretty new, Novita Hohde, shining or something. So this yarn has some reflecting fiber in it. It's not as good as a regular reflector, yeah, but it's okay. It's sort of gives you more, people can see you better in the dark if you're wearing something knit out of this, even though it's not as good as normal reflector. I don't really know how common reflectors are in other countries, but at least here in the northern Europe, you really do need to have these reflecting, even reflecting stripes in your coats or something, or then the dangling reflectors, because otherwise you're just an accident waiting to happen. You're just trying to get hit by a car, because it really is that dark, and they really help you be more visible in the dark. So they're great. And I'm planning to knit something, a beanie or something for myself from maybe both of them, or maybe just from the red one if my son will want something from this black. So anyway, this is something I just bought, and it is 62% wool, 21% polyamide, and 17% polyester. So that's the shining part of it. And there are 170 meters in a 100-gram ball. So that's all my Novita yarns. And besides yarns, Novita has their knitting patterns. They have some designers that are working for them. And, you know, I think the website, novitaknits.com, is also in English, Finnish, Swedish, something else too, perhaps. So you might want to check it out and see what they have. Yeah, but it's the biggest. It is the one that you will see if you go to a grocery store here in Finland. Either just some of the Seitsemän veljestä yarns or Seitsemän veljestä and Nalle, but in supermarkets or the bigger grocery stores, there will be even wider range of different Novita yarns available. They're okay. Of course, they're not like hand painted or indie dyed. And I know that some people, especially for the sock yarns, for the sock fiber, 75% wool, 25% nylon, sort of, or polyamide sort of yarns. I know that people have had different experiences when they have knit socks using that sort of yarn. I have had some socks worn out in, well, too soon, but then there are some socks that I've knit out of Novita yarns that have lasted for 10 years or so. So I can't say, I wouldn't say that it's just all Novita yarns are bad and crap and all that, but you know, there are differences, and it's life. And of course, it is a pity if you knit a nice pair of socks and then you wear them out instantly. But well, that's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, that's my bet on Novita yarns. But if you wanna win the skein of the stripy self-striping thing, or if you're interested in the camel color mambo yarn, then drop me a line in the episode thread, because it'll be easier for me to draw out the winner from Ravelry rather than from Ravelry and YouTube. So I'm really sorry about that.
Right. I think that's all I have for today. And when it comes to knitting, um, what's up? In general, the first thing that comes to mind is that I broke my phone. Day before yesterday, I dropped it on the floor or on the carpet at home, and I didn't even drop it hard. But I guess it was hard enough. And no, it wasn't the first time, but just this time I couldn't switch it back on. So yeah, I have ordered a new phone, and I hope it'll arrive today, or well, at least tomorrow. It's really weird not having a phone. I don't have a watch, and so there's pretty much no way for me to tell the time. So it's crazy. But yeah, um, that's all. I hope to record in a couple of weeks. Until then, go to the Ravelry group, comment on the episode thread if you'd like to get one of those Novita yarns, and of course leave a comment in here on YouTube or in the group in the episode thread. I hope you have a really nice time. It's really pretty in here, so I'm just gonna take some video before I really have to rush off back to work. Um, have a nice time, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye!